What's up, gang? This is the warm-up for the week of August 23rd. Making it ahead of time here. So just head to toe as usual, about 10 minutes of effort. Let me get a timer going just to double check on that. Hope your weekend was good. Let's see what we got. So we're going to begin real familiar. Let's get some neck rolls. I feel like it's always nice to begin the warm-up just with something familiar and smooth. As you do this, try and relax through the hands and the arms. Just focus on rolling around through the neck. Switch directions. We're just going to swing the arms forward and back. As you do this, I want your hands to cross over one another. And when you're at the top, I want to make sure that the abs stay tight, the arms just kind of fly up past your ears. Ideally, we're looking for straight arms when we go up overhead, but do your best there. So just going back as far as we can this way, and then up overhead. Get a few of them here. Just coax the shoulders open nice and gently, whatever feels good. Let those arms kind of come to a rest, and then we're going to go side to side. You can kind of switch which arm goes up over the top, or just going hands out and then loosely hugging yourself as you come back. If you want a little more of a stretch, you can let your palms come up. Otherwise, keep those hands kind of in a neutral orientation. Okay, similar kind of feeling to what we just did. We're just going to twist and let the arms smack you, but I want you to look over whatever shoulder you're leaning towards. So twist to the right, I look over my right. Twist to the left, look over the left. We're going to do it for a bit. The idea is just making the twist happen and then the arms and your head follow. Try and keep the arms empty, so that if you swing kind of just gently, they barely come up. If you swing more aggressively, the arms pop up higher. Kind of like one of those toys. It's got like a little a drum kind of thing and then two balls attached to it where you just twist it back and forth. That's what we are. That toy. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what it is. Keep going. Nice way to wake up the spine a little bit, the trunk. Maybe first thing in the morning, maybe right after work, wherever you're coming from. Okay, let those arms come to rest. Let's just get some big hip circles. So the idea is I want you to push like the largest circle you can make with the hips here. It doesn't have to be anything forced. Just trying to get everything to move around through the hip joint there a little bit. Keeping the legs relatively straight. Making nice big circles. Switch directions. Maybe notice where there's tightness or where you feel a little bit of guarding as far as how you're pushing into it. But just generally coaxing it open. What I want you to do on your next revolution is just get on one side and try and put a little bit of extra pressure there. We're just going to rock forward and back. So like just this little sliver of the circle we were working before, imagine like the head of your femur here trying to push out the side of your hip capsule, and we're just moving forward and back. You should feel a little bit of movement going on in there, and then, like I said, some pressure in the side of the hip. Just back and forth a few times, and then the same thing on the other side. Just rocking forward and back. You can imagine pushing your hips so far out to the side that maybe you're able to like kind of balance on one foot. Way out over here, getting most of the weight in this outer leg, next to nothing in this leg. There you go. So kind of part of what we did last week, we're just going to go back and forth, rounding and arching 5 times each direction. Just take your time. So we're going to hug a giant exercise ball, and then we're going to arch. And then we're going to hug, Feels pretty good. Okay, let all the blood come back into your head and your vision there. We're going to get some leg swings. So bouncing on one side, get the arms involved very much like you would try and cross body if you were running here. Got to concentrate, but the idea is we want to swing the leg forward and back. And once you're at what feels like a good kind of stretch height, I want you to try and get 10. Woo! Just snuck it in. After you do that, we go to 10 on the other side. Get up to your good height. Take a second to get there. And once you have it, 10 reps. If you're pretty good at one direction, like I feel a little bit more comfortable swinging forward, push into how you're swinging back. Like it's definitely a weakness of mine on this move here, but try and really reach both directions 10 times. All right, so we're going to get down into a squat. We're just going to bounce. I feel like we've successfully included this as part of every one of our little head-to-toe warm-ups, but I'm not entirely sure. At any rate, it feels good. Just to compress the body a little bit. Like I said, whether it's first thing in the morning that you're doing this or later in the afternoon, the body responds to being folded into this position, at least in some ways. So you'll find that you have more available range of motion in some ways, and that your lower body just feels better in general. So I have a pad here conveniently in front of me that wasn't planned, but I'm definitely going to use it. If you're on the grass, this would be nice. But feel free to use your hands as needed here. We're going to go from this squat position, and I want you to lower your knees to the ground, and we're going to kneel. I'll let you decide if you're kneeling through the balls of your feet or on the tops of your feet. But we're going to go from that kneeling position and then transition back into a squat. Like I said, use the hands as needed here, but I want you to spend a little bit of time in this kneeling position and then back into a full flat-footed squat. I'll show you from the side here. Like I said, you could be on the tops of your feet or you can be on the balls of your feet, but we want to sit back as much as we can here, getting a big stretch through the feet, through your ankles, through your toes. Then we're going to try and rock into a squat. So I'm in a pretty narrow squat right now. Makes the balance a little bit more challenging. If you want, you can always go a little bit wider with your feet when you're stretching here in the kneeling position and transition into your squat. Let's just go back and forth 5 or 6 times. Just kind of hang out. Nice. And then last off, maybe said last off already, but let's get into this squat position and let's rotate. So we're going to get some of the thoracic rotations. I want you to rotate so your arm is pointed up, and then I want you to try and touch as close as you can to the opposite knee. Five times each way. Nice, guys. Hopefully starting to feel pretty warm. Enjoy the rest of the workout.